Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here on the industry stage at Formnext 2024. Day 3, we are keeping the pace. We have fantastic topics for you to come. And we stay this afternoon with the topic of sustainability. And it's interesting. Yesterday in our after-work talk, someone said, countries need a clear vision in order to get things realized and to bring things up to speed. And today in our morning talk, there was Eetu from DMAC who made clear that Finland has a clear and chosen strategy to put focus on sustainability as its guiding vision. So it's only logical, of course, that we invite someone to introduce us a little bit more into sustainability in Finland, what is going on. So please join me in welcoming Advancing NM, Finland's Sustainable Pathway and Nordic collaboration with Dr. Sini-Metsä Kotalainen, Head of Ecosystems at DMAC OY.
Thank you so much. So thank you for the introductions and greetings from Finland. So as said, I'm Sini-Metsä Kotalainen, Head of Ecosystems, working for DMAC, which is a quite small company in Finland. Basically, we are orchestrating different kind of industrial ecosystems, and FAME is one of them. So FAME is Finnish additive manufacturing ecosystem focusing on AM. And today I'm focusing more on sustainable topic and of course before that a little bit going through what our ecosystem is doing. And a little bit about my background. So I started to work for DMAC about a year ago, and before that I had quite a long research career at VTT Technical Research Center of Finland. So 20 years I was focusing on research and 15 of those focusing on AM. So I do know something on AM, but perhaps I'm not the LCA expert or that kind of person, but I'm a green people from a quite green country. We are living in the forests basically, so that's one advantage of Finland regarding this topic. So as said, I'm giving you the basic facts on FAME in the beginning of my presentation, and after that I'm more focusing on this sustainable AM topic. So let's start from the FAME, and actually these photos are taken by sun. Those are all from Finland, so you are also seeing that what kind of nature we do have in Finland. It's related to environment and sustainability as well. But Finnish additive manufacturing ecosystem is the main AM ecosystem in Finland. It was established in 2020. And it's very industry-driven ecosystem, but we also have incorporated the research organizations in our actions actually this year. Our idea is that it's quite experts from experts ecosystem, and our role in DMAC is to facilitate the ecosystem activities. But the idea is that the industry members are doing the work basically. And I would say that our motto could be that come with a problem and leave with the solution. So we do believe in the power of collaboration. And also not only inside Finland, we are open also for companies outside of Finland, and we are aiming and strengthening collaboration, especially with the Nordic countries, but also other countries as well. We are having our own strategy. The companies have built the strategy, and the ecosystem activities, those are highly based on openness and open sharing of the information and also trust. So that's really important for us. But then going towards the sustainability, so actually our vision is sustainable AM is Finland's competitive edge. So I would say that's quite natural for Finns to be sustainable, and later on I'm showing some figures that you will get an understanding what I'm talking here. And also education. We have long traditions in Finland to have high education possibilities, and also that's important topic regarding of educating AM experts. So we want to be one of the best locations for that as well. Here you can see all of our members, so 60 members at the moment covering the whole AM value chain. And also, as said, we have all the main research organizations focusing on AM also involved in our actions. And where we are growing at the moment especially is the bottom part of this slide, so the applier companies. So the companies who are utilizing AM in their production or in their products or aiming for that. In the nutshell, we organize quite a lot of activities for our members, and of course our members are organizing the activities, but we are facilitating those. So knowledge increase, very important part of our activities. We have built an information sharing platform for our members, and we have collected plenty of information there. We organize different kind of trainings and other webinars and so forth. So we want to our companies to know what is happening in the area of AM. We have an AM campus, which is a learning environment on metal AM. It's located in Vaasa, open for all companies, and also marketing and visibility, creating new AM-related data and so forth. Very important topics for our ecosystem. And of course, international collaboration. So we are doing here, for example, and we are having our own Finnish pavilion upstairs, so welcome to visit that. Different kind of co-creation activities, very important topic, as said, it's from expert to expert, so we are facilitating those kind of activities. And few words on the status of AM in Finland. So it is not a very large business yet, but it's growing. So the growth rate has been quite high during the past years, and it is expected to grow. And we are having business both on polymers and metals, and we are having quite nice number of industrial scale AM machines in Finland. So just for you to remember that Finland is a quite small country of 5.6 million people, so for us this number is quite high. We also do have quite remarkable number of 3D printing service provider companies in Finland, and actually I think it's a little bit different than in other countries because of these OEM companies and applier companies for AM. They are highly collaborating with these service providers. So instead of buying own AM machines, they trust with these 3D printing service providers and do collaboration with them. Then we are building this kind of strong Nordic collaboration, especially with Norway, Denmark, and also Sweden. It is happening in Finland also that we are focusing on research on AM, covering wide variety of different kind of topics. But let's move on to sustainable AM. So a couple of key figures from Finland. So I believe that this is quite familiar to you, this report of United Nations. This is the Sustainable Development Report, and actually Finland is having the highest score at the moment of all 193 countries. So this is something that we are very proud of. Finland also has ratified the Paris Agreement, and we are aiming to be climate neutral by 2035. And when our greenhouse emissions are coming mostly from energy sector, agriculture and industrial processes, part is 11%. When we are talking about the sustainability, quite often we focus on environmental impacts. But I would like to highlight that it's very important to include all of these pillars of ESG, so also the social and governance pillars. And those are the ones, referring again to this Sustainable Development Report, especially in Nordic countries, we are having these things in pretty good condition. Then again, a couple of more key figures from Finland, so explaining that why AM is important for us. Actually, manufacturing sector is important for us. So manufacturing sector is about 60% of our gross domestic product. This is the number of 2022. And one more figure for you before moving on. So this is showing the carbon intensity of electricity generation. So we are having quite light color there in Finland and also in the Nordic countries. And this is showing that we are having quite a lot of renewable energy in use. And that's actually quite important topic when talking about the environmental impacts of AM. So when we are comparing AM and conventional manufacturing, these are quite obvious if you are AM experts. So benefits of AM are naturally coming from design optimization, better parts, better performance and lightweightness. And also this is related to the manufacturing phase and emissions coming from that part, but also from the use phase. And actually the effects of the use phase can be quite remarkable. Of course, it's better to repair than manufacture new parts. AM can be utilized for repairing, and also it was Sherry talking about this on-demand manufacturing and these kind of things, so very, very relevant for AM as well. And also in the design phase, I would like to focus on also that part, that when the part comes to its end, so what to do with the parts. So we can design the parts so that those are easier to dismantle. But points of impacts regarding especially AM, so we know quite well that it's quite energy intensive process. So it does matter which kind of electricity we are utilizing in manufacturing. Also, it does matter if we are recycling the gases. Gases actually are utilized quite a lot of in the manufacturing phase, or phases actually, also in the powder manufacturing. It does matter what kind of material we are selecting, so if we are able to manufacture a part utilizing polymers instead of metals, it's always better. And it does matter that how we are utilizing the AM machines, so how we do the nesting and do all of the operations. Then we go to the measurement of these environmental impacts. So there are some of these LCA tools available. But we have noticed, and actually I'm coming to our showcases a little bit later, that the results are not always comparable. And I think this is an issue at the moment. And also it's an issue that the results are not directly comparable when we are calculating the environmental impact of conventional manufactured parts. We have these LCA tools, but often we utilize also databases from where we get the numbers for the calculations. And actually, we are lacking some AM-specific numbers in these databases. So I would say that we are not there yet, so a little bit further development is needed. And especially I would focus now on the, let's say, defining the basic principles, general rules, that how to make the assessment And I would drive to that direction that we would do the assessment every time in the same manner. What we then do in FAME, Finnish Additive Manufacturing Ecosystem. So actually we have built this kind of sustainable AM roadmap, and we started the actions already last year. I'm not going into every detail of this roadmap, but just showing that we do have this roadmap, we do have our targets, and we have a direction where to go. And our goal is that by 2030, sustainable AM is Finland's competitive edge. This year we have focused on sustainable AM training. We organized for our members, and then we have built an sustainable AM handbook, and also we have done a couple of showcases. Those are also visible in our booth upstairs. This is just showing you what were the modules of the training we organized in collaboration with Amexi. The idea was that all of our members would get an understanding on this environmental impacts of AM, and also how these LCA tools are working, and what to take into account in the calculations. And this is just showing the table of contents of this Sustainability Handbook. So it's a small guidance for our members that what to take into account. And finally, coming to our showcases on sustainable AM. So here we have a couple of parts, one of coming from Valmet and one of Wärtsilä, and these are quite different parts, and we can talk about the details later on, but showing some of the figures to you. So basically, in both cases, we have calculated the environmental impact of conventional made part, and also then we have a little bit optimized the part in the Valmet case. More radical optimization was done in the Wärtsilä case, but then we have also done the LCA calculation for these AM parts. And actually we utilized also different tools for the calculation, and I can show you a comparison in my next slide. But basically, if we can see what was the end result. So in these both cases, we were able to reduce the CO2 footprint. And it's quite natural that in this other case, the Wärtsilä case, where the original part was 2.3 kilos, and we were able to have the same functionality with a part of 40 grams. It's quite obvious that the CO2 reduction was quite impressive. But here is the table where you can see comparison of the results of these different LCA calculations. So the first row is showing the conventional manufacturing results, and then the last three rows are assessment results of utilizing different tools. So we utilized EOS, AM Power, and Amexi tools for LCA calculation. And here you can see that there is quite wide variation in these numbers. And there are reasons behind that, but my main message is that we should be able to compare these results when communicating that how sustainable AM is. And we are not there yet, so we need some further development. So not going into details here, but we can discuss it more later on. So finally, some key takeaways. So I would highlight that when talking about sustainability, let's not talk only on environmental impacts, but let's also focus on these S and G letters of ESG. And also, I have seen quite a lot of cases where AM wasn't that sustainable. So it should be based on facts when we are communicating that how sustainable AM is. So it should be based on calculations, some numbers, and so forth. And as shown in the tables, results are not yet comparable when utilizing different tools. So especially this LCA part, it's still under development, but it's progressing, and I'm very happy about that. And just to highlight why especially we Nordic countries, we see that it's quite beneficial for us to make this AM manufacturing in Finland, because we are having this renewable energy in use, and we can produce the parts more greener than in many other countries. So electricity matters, so what kind of electricity is in use. And finally, this is very important part, so we do believe in power of collaboration. So within our ecosystem, but also with other ecosystems, other countries, other companies, from people to people. So that's very important in fostering this huge topic like sustainability. So thank you so much. Please come to visit our Finnish pavilion upstairs.
Big applause, Sini, great. I mean, this is the impression that we have from Finland, right? Always snow, always dark.
Indeed, indeed.
It is?
It is,
okay.
Of course.
I'm sorry
Actually,
for that.
at the moment, we do have snow, and it was too much snow, for one day. So
well,
we had some challenges.
You're missing the snow.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
Basically. So
we
first of all, thank you for the presentation. And my question to the audience, any questions from the audience to the topics here on stage? Take your time, think about it, because I have two. So first of all, Sini, as I mentioned at the very beginning, in E2, is that correct? Or E2? E2.
Yes.
He mentioned it this morning as a colleague of yours, I think, right?
Yes.
He mentioned that really it is a vision of the country to focus on sustainability. Does it make it easier in your work, so approaching companies or making collaborations, that the country is behind it with their focus?
Yes, indeed, of course. So it's quite natural for us. So as I said, we have green people from green countries, so it's a benefit of us. But of course, when we are talking about, let's say, AM business, it's quite small. So the effects are not that huge.
Yeah.
But of course, we are driving for that.
Yeah, very good. And another question, I mean, you mentioned the different methods of the different companies in order to do an LCA assessment. And we have Sherry later in the panel. We can squeeze her as well, so,
yes.
and ask her. So what are the next steps in harmonizing that? I mean, that would be necessary, wouldn't it be? I mean,
yeah, indeed.
If you want to work internationally and you come to, I don't know, to the US, you have, let's say, a new production method or new technology coming up or a new application, and you want to compare the LCA, it shouldn't matter whether it's your organization or Sherry's organization, right?
Yeah, very good question. And we don't want to do it by ourselves. Yeah. So this is a collaboration thing. So of course we have started this in the Nordic countries, but now we are looking for any other countries to join us, and let's do it together. So I think that we do need some funding for it, common funding, common resources, clever minds and so forth, but we need to do it together. And I think we have already quite a good basis for that. So we are having very functional, good LCA tools, but some adjustments perhaps are needed.
So the target is then a common standard for LCA. Would that be something?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, that's it. Like the new ISO for LCAs, basically.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay, very good. So, what is about the other countries? I mean, you have Nordic countries, are also Sweden, Denmark. Is there already a strong collaboration on sustainability?
Yeah, and I would say that of course Danish AM Hub, they have built their own tool already, and it's very good tool. So of course we are driving collaboration with them, with Norwegian partners. It's quite natural that we have started their collaboration in the Nordics, but now we are coming to the south, and of course I think it's a driver for other countries as well that we would have these common practices in these calculations.
And it's great that your region is pushing that. That's fantastic.
I think we are pushing, and it's because of our traditions and because of our good position when it comes to renewable energy and these kind of things. So those are important for us.
I tell you what, see, I'm so much looking forward to discuss with you in just a few minutes. At this moment, I say thank you very much for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.
You can enjoy some minutes of highlights now. And after that, we will see the guys here again at our panel discussion regarding sustainability with a few more experts on stage. So stay tuned. See you in a few minutes. Thank you.